Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to episode 2 of Disc Heads, an amateur disc golf podcast. Episode 2. Let's talk about Fling. That's right. In the first episode, thank you if you've returned from the first episode. Guys, much appreciated. And also, thanks for listening. If this is the first time you're hearing it, this is episode 2. Go back and listen to episode 1. So in this episode, we're going to talk about our first ever tournament experience and a few other things and stuff like that, but I'll let Dan tell you all about that in a second. Without further ado, I am one of the co-hosts for this podcast. I am Lee. To the left of me is the man that wasn't here last week, the other co-host of this podcast, Ben. How are you doing, Ben?
Not bad. I have arrived.
You have arrived.
I have made it. I am here. I have committed to week 2.
It's all good. I'm so glad because you're going to get to know a little bit about Ben in our first segment as well. And then the main man with the plan, Dan. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, Lee. Good.
Right. So that's the introduction done. I've set it all up for you. What is the battle plan for tonight's show, sir?
Yeah, well, like you said, Lee, welcome to episode 2. If you was one of the listeners for episode 1, thank you very much. It's an amateur podcast by amateur disc golfers. Today, we are going to be talking about our first tournament experience. We're going to talk about the Gillies course in general. We're going to throw out another beginner tip. And, of course, we've got Disc of the Week. But first and foremost, let's introduce Ben and how he got into disc golf.
Hello. Right. So, the short version of how I got into disc golf is Dan said, "Do you want to play disc golf?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I've been looking for something to do for a while, and he gave me the option, and I was like, you know what? Sounds like a laugh. Might like it, might not. Got into it, gave it a good go. First day using those practice discs, was like, yeah, this could be something that could be pretty good. And I'm pretty sure I bought discs straight away.
Oh, we went home that day and I brought the ape and you brought the beast.
The beast.
Yeah, and then I did that. And then...
Just quickly, while we're at that point, remind our beginner tip 1, do not buy a fast disc.
Yeah. I think you guys both went with artwork, though, as well, didn't you?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
obviously the beast is like...
It's got
the
a
beast.
Minotaur on it.
Enough
Why was I
said.
not going to buy it?
100%. Oh, look at you with a cyborg chair. Just pull up. I love this.
Got to be comfortable.
He has to be.
Yeah. Then played another round. Couldn't throw that disc. Tried anyway. Just went everywhere, if I remember. Over here, over there. Anywhere but where I wanted it to for about 3 weeks. Then I bought a set with some discs I could actually use. And still can't use the beast properly now, to be honest.
You got the same set I got because I
recommended the set.
You recommended the Discmania starter set. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good set.
It is.
So I remember it came with a sensei, magician.
Yeah, the magician. Still got mine.
Yeah. Yes.
And the maestro, yeah.
Love the maestro.
And I really like the maestro to start off, but I swapped it out. I've started using something else, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sand pandas.
Yeah, so that's Ben.
That is
And
Ben.
his journey into disc golf. The next thing I wanted to talk about very briefly is how disc golf's improved my mental health. In episode 1, we discussed physical health and how it's been a benefit to physical health, all the walking, and it's a lot more energetic than you would think it was just watching the sport. You know, I come home and I'm knackered. But as far as my mental health goes, and we're not going to sit and whine about our jobs, but we all do quite stressful jobs for different reasons, but all very stressful jobs. And we all have houses to keep. And on a Sunday, none of that matters anymore because we're playing disc golf. We don't talk about our problems at work or our financial issues or
is solely disc golf.
Yeah,
It is.
solely
It is solely
A
disc golf.
couple of hours of just that,
Yeah.
and that it really helps. Like up previous to the tournament, I had not been having a good week at all, and I could forget about it. And then Monday was a fresh. Like it really helped.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, definitely. And, I don't mind saying that, I've suffered with depression most of my life. Since starting disc golf, I can't think of a single time when depression has overcome me. There's been moments where...
when you got plus 23 at Bedworth.
Yeah, that's true.
That's yeah. We can't talk about our scores too much. We are amateurs. Remember this, guys.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to promote good mental health and
100%.
be happy, be positive.
Yeah, 100%. I honestly think, like we said, like Sundays, even though we might have had a worse week, like literally, we can sit back when you pick us up, Dan, talk about like, right, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to do, and like we have a plan of action of how we want to play. Half of that happens and half of it doesn't go, and then we just have an absolute laugh. Like we forget about everything. Stuff happens, songs are created, memories are made. Like literally, it's just such a good time, and we look like a bunch of nutters in Bedworth. I absolutely love it. Like I almost killed a couple that I wasn't aiming for one time, and the disc
It'd be
literally
really bad if you was aiming for them. It was really bad if
It
that
was.
story went, I nearly killed a couple that I was aiming
I was aiming for, but I wasn't aiming for him. I was like, I cannot hit that couple. I'm just going to aim for the basket, and it just went right towards the people, and I was like, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, but also at the same time, I don't want to try and kill people, or how we call it, kung laoing people.
I kind of like that we're like just not that good though. It's like, when we get to that stage, which I'm sure we will do, where we're like good, if we have a bad day, we're gonna be like Mardy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we will, won't we?
And I don't like. I can't be arsed for that.
Yeah. I mean, you joked before about, me getting plus 23 and not being in a good mood that day. And yeah, you're right. And that's because for the longest time, I hadn't got anything more than plus 15, 16. So just suddenly land a plus 23. I was like, what has gone wrong here?
Yeah, but but we still. I think we've only had, and this was you and me, we've only had one round where we drove back silent because we were like, that was awful.
Yeah, we thought about jumping off that bridge. No, we didn't actually think about jumping off a bridge. That was, was a joke in poor taste.
Poor taste. No, I honestly think, that's the thing I think about disc golf is the fact that you can turn up with your mates and have an absolute laugh. And that was like the one thing I remember very vividly from like playing with you guys is like the first time I rocked up, I was like, I'm just gonna have fun and see what the heck this is all about, and immediately got hooked. Immediately, I could understand as soon as you throw a good shot, you get that feeling of like when you're playing darts and you go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna aim for the board, and you're just like, holy crap, I just got a treble 20. Ooh.
Yeah, no,
it's like that.
real
It's
good.
it's satisfying. It really is
It's
satisfying.
addictive, though. Like,
It is quite. I think disc golf's like heroin. And not in a bad way, but it's just very Moorish. That's my joke.
Oh, yeah, it's plastic crack.
It is, like, literally,
I
the money I've spent this week, you don't want to know.
Wait, you've taken over me as the key spender on discs.
I'm not
I've
buying
managed
anything for a while now.
You said that last week.
I did, but I told you I was going to buy stuff at Fling. And that happened. And then I've got our unofficial putter of the podcast, which we'll talk about one week when we've all got one. And then we can be like, yeah, this is our unofficial
Maybe
putter.
we can bring that up when we've given it a good
We have all got
trial.
one.
Yeah. I purchased one today.
Oh, so it's not here yet?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
tomato red though as well, the colour I do not own.
Oh.
We need
So
to
I'm
give it
well
a good
excited.
run As a,
Yeah,
as a trio,
100%.
and then possibly discuss it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
100%.
That's a future conversation.
That is a
right there.
future conversation right there. But no, honestly,
Right.
going back to like the whole mental side, health side of these thing, like literally, like yeah, Dan, we all have our real life. We also have like jobs, bills, etc. Just to forget all that and just go out for a couple of hours with your mates, like literally, is so rewarding. Like when we went to Quarry Park, like for the day, like literally.
That was good.
That was so much fun. Like literally pat lunch, literally like schoolboys, literally go for a round, have a pat lunch and then go, let's go
do that
on the
again.
other course, let's do it again. And like, I know we want to do stuff over in the summer where we want to take a disposable barbecue and stuff like that and just basically, yeah, I want to get a couple of glow discs. I want to get that glow bag that I saw on Disc Golf UK, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna join you, Nev, in the purchase of glows, but only a putter, a mid-range, and a driver. No, nothing like, yeah, just 3. I don't want like 13.
I've only got 3.
I know, but you have more glow discs than me, and us combined at the moment. So
Yeah, they're snazzy though.
they are snazzy. But yeah, they are so good.
So yeah, good for your mental health.
Very good.
So let's move on. First tournament.
Yes.
We all played at Gillies.
Oh.
Fling 2. We played on Sunday. We will discuss our results, but not quite yet.
No, not quite yet.
We want to discuss the tournament experience.
Yes.
So what was your main takeaway?
Ben, do you want to go first?
I probably thought it was going to be a lot. First thing, definitely thought it was going to be a lot more strict than it was.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah.
Secondly, everyone was friendly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so with the strictness, the first thing that I did when I met my first group of strangers is I said to them all, which one of you is most acquainted with the rules? And a young lad said, I've been playing for 5 years and, you know, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I let him take the lead. I did say to him, you know, look, if I do any foot faults, if I do anything wrong, please just tell me. I'm not going to go mardy or anything, because first tournament, you know, I'd rather you point it out and pick me up on it. He didn't speak to me, but there was another chap in our group who was taking quite a dicey shot. I'm going to give it to him. He was like in the thick of it, and he was Jean-Claude Van Damme stretched out.
What a lad.
And he took his shot, and I had no problem with it. But the lad who knew the rules went and just pulled him to the side and just said, look, you know, don't worry about that shot, but in the future, your foot has to be within that foot square box in front of your marker. And
see, I didn't hear any of that.
yeah, and you
Either
see,
of my rounds.
yeah,
Ooh.
At all.
Okay.
yeah. But I just thought it was
Well,
interesting that
maybe
he
we were just
didn't
doing
pull
what
him
we
up in
were
front
supposed to
of
be doing.
everybody. He just pulled him to the side and just
Yeah. Well, we had it with my first round. John pulled me aside at one point when we were putting, and he told me about like the 20-meter rule for jump puts. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I thought it was 10 meter.
Yeah, so 10-meter is standing, 20-meter you can jump or something like that. He explained something. I probably got it wrong.
Circle 2.
That's it, circle
Yeah,
2
yeah, yeah.
stuff. Like
I've
you
heard that
can't
used before.
step forward or whatever, do like a lunge put or something like that. He told me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll make sure I won't do it again. So I just made sure every time I was near that kind of range, I just had myself firmly planted, Kevin Jones style put, like literally.
Yeah.
Like just made sure my foot was planted and nothing was like moving too much. But hey, I could be wrong. But John, if I am wrong, I do apologize. But yeah, other than that, it was sick. Both rounds, really nice guys. Talked about some fun shots that we were doing. Like, I think one of my favorite ever things was in round 2, because Ben and me got to play in round 2, was Ben threw this amazing berg shot, got it literally, parked it, and then one of the guys in the group was just like, that was a very unorthodox throw, and I was just like, it's the berg, ain't it, mate? It's just a machine. It is the T1000.
The unorthodox throw.
The unorthodox throw where you parked it and just walked up and
throw
dropped it in.
Make a lot at Bedworth. It's the
Yeah.
same one I make all the time, and it was like, that's weird.
It was weird, but the berg worked.
Hey.
It was sick.
It's a legal throw.
Works for me.
It is.
So round 1 for me was very much 3 guys who should have been at the tournament and me.
I like that. I like that.
Definitely felt like I was slowing them down.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't bother me. But
No.
I was like, they were like 3,000 foot ahead of me, and I was like, I'll catch up.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit, guys.
Yeah. See, round 1 for me, I felt like I was in the right group. I was just fortunate because it was randomly selected.
Yeah.
A guy came away with the same score as me. One guy came out with 2 points better, and the other guy was like 4 points better. So,
it was adequate.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never felt lost. I never felt behind. You know,
Yeah.
until the scores were announced on at the end, I thought I was on par with.
Yeah, I was doing quite.
The guy who won our group also was leading the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair.
He was at +6
Yeah,
by the end of round 1, and I was at +20 a lot.
20.
See, I started off good in my round because I was like, okay, I got a couple of pars, I'm feeling really good. And then I had one hole where I was just like, oh, mate, and so it begins. And then the number got bigger and bigger,
I
then
only-
smaller, then bigger again. But I had a
Genuinely,
blast.
I only got pars because I was throwing big putts. and
Big
lucky. They were
putts.
just lucky.
They're
It was just like,
amazing.
Yep. Got it.
Got it.
Like,
I think the one thing as well. How was
I had to
your
work
guys?
hard for every single par.
Yeah, because I
Right.
felt it was really interesting from my group perspective that it all seemed they've been playing for X amount of years or a couple of months. And one of the guys in my first group said that Gillies is probably the hardest course in the UK. And I think you said that as well,
yeah,
didn't you,
I
as
think
well?
I heard that as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, why the heck have we been practicing in the hardest course in the UK and still coming away with like, mate, how?
Yeah,
You
the
know?
guys that I was playing with in my second round were debating whether Gillies or the Cotswolds was the hardest course in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And since then, I've had a look at some of the photos of the Cotswolds, and I can understand why they're comparing the
Right.
two, to be honest. But that is a course we've got planned for later on in the year, so
Yeah.
we get to experience that.
Nice.
And we can decide which one's the harder of the two.
Yeah, like it was interesting because a few of the guys on the first card were saying like Gillies is pretty solid, and then on the second round, like I was talking, they didn't really say much, did they, Ben? It was like they kept themselves, and we were doing all the talking pretty much sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was really good fun. Like, honestly, like I have to agree with
We
everything.
did have two quiet lads.
You
for
said
round two, but
we did.
I am not quiet. So
No, we're the polar opposite, unfortunately.
Yeah, right at the end of your round, I came over to say hello, and we spoke briefly, and clearly disrupted one of the players because we were being a bit too loud. And
Yeah.
I actually said to the boys, I'm going to wait in the car because that guy's clearly quiet and I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. I think the thing was though as well is like when we were talking about tournament etiquette as well. The first thing I said in my group is like, guys, this is my first tournament. I just want to know. I might swear if I have a bad shot. It's not going to be directed at you. It's probably directed at myself. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, Lee, that's fine. We're going to swear, but it also isn't at you. And they were like, yeah. And a lot of them were just like, yeah, if it's not aimed at us, like you're going to call me this or that, and like I'm fine with it. So, yeah, a lot of fun things were said when I threw discs.
I just swore.
You did, yeah, I did.
Didn't
That's
even
what I'm
ask
saying. I
permission.
did. I
Didn't
just
even
went, just basically, who's the guy from The Wire? I just kept going, she.
Oh,
That guy. It's going to come back later in the podcast, but yeah, a lot of shit was said. I apologize for the language. But yeah, also like we were saying, like for tournaments as well. Like I've gone to golf tournaments, and it's like you need to wear this, make sure this is this and that. And I turned up and I was like, I'm wearing casual clothes, and everyone else is, and that's tournament etiquette. You don't have to have
I
like.
think you could have turned up dressed as a clown.
I could have gone in a onesie and no one would have cared. Like
No.
honestly, it could have been amazing. Like,
Yeah,
and it's
fair.
so good. And I think that's what's so inclusive about like tournaments as well. Because I feel like sometimes it's like if you go to certain things, it's like you have to have this and this and this. But it seems like depending on the tournament organizer how it is. But yeah, it was really laid back. Everyone was super sound, hilarious, and we met people that we had seen either playing just casually. Like I remember I saw some guys from Bedworth, some guys from Quarry Park, some guys from like Gillies while we were practicing for the tournaments. Like it literally, we saw people and we were just like, I've seen them before. Oh yeah, I've seen those people before. And it was just kind of like, oh yeah, we saw you in passing.
Yeah,
That's
then
cool.
there was two separate randomers as well that I've not met before that just randomly started talking to me.
Oh, fair.
The young lad at lunchtime spoke to us. All three
Oh
of us.
yeah, Kai. Yeah, Kai was in our round. Kai was sound. Like Kai is really, really was a really nice bloke. Like literally, I got on.
Talked me into buying another disc.
Yeah, he
Thanks
did. Yeah,
for
he
that.
did 100%. He bought you what the passion, wasn't it? The
passion, yeah.
Discraft passion. But no, my first round, I feel like we've said because Ben and me played on the second round. First round for me, because I can talk a little bit about it, was everyone was really chatty. And then we like when people were like obviously throwing discs, we were quiet. But all of us like talked about disc golf, but then we also talked about other stuff as well. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's really awkward. You don't know what people like and whatever. And a lot of it is mainly obviously disc golf related and just like, oh, what did you throw there? Oh, what's that? How does that work?
How
And
long you been playing?
yeah,
you
and
know.
just like general chat, and it was really good because it's like when I've gone and played in golf tournaments and everyone's talking, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know about retirement. Sorry, I don't know about that sport. I don't have a wife and kids. I don't know. No, I don't know really how to talk about any of these
And I
things.
think
You know.
that was my takeaway, that there was such a wide demographic of people. There was old people, there were young people, there were people the same age as me, in their 30s, people in their 20s. I mean, I'm not sure how old young Mr. Dowse is, but
the phenom.
Yeah,
the phenoms. That's what I've
he's
nicknamed
playing
him
in
as
the
well.
15 and under, so we got to presume he's under 15.
He's an
like-
absolute monster. He's got a
Yeah.
cannon for an arm. That
Oh,
guy is.
Every
Yeah.
shot I saw him take made me sad because I can't do that.
Mate, I was in the group behind him, and as I said, I thought it was you guys slowing us down. It turned out it was the ladies' group that was slowing
That
everyone
I
down.
tried to murder
That
3 or
was
4
probably Lee's
times.
fault.
That was probably because of me.
Several times, Lee went, "I'm going to throw this disc directly at this group of people."
I did. Right, okay, I'm going to tell you now. The first round, my discs behaved. The second round, I don't know.
Genuinely,
I left them unattended, so they could have been, sacrificed,
It was like
or there was a
hard- it
blood
was
thing.
like not far off hitting them.
Yeah, and then one of them also hit me on the second to last hole, which I thought was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Nearly got me solid. It was so good. Like I was literally laughing my head off. But yeah, it might have been me. I do apologise for trying to murder people. Well, my discs, not me. But my discs.
But yeah, no, going back to the demographics, it wasn't just age, it was personality. Now, I've always pointed out that our group of friends are quite a wide demographic of people, backgrounds, and personalities. But it was so good to see your quiet people, your loud people, your...
Yeah, there was a lot of different people.
Yeah.
They're like,
100%. I think all the demographics were covered, I would say.
yeah, but everyone had like that one thing in common, and everyone was really happy to talk about it. It was really
Yeah.
like disc
Yeah.
golf is like everyone is like fully into it.
Yeah.
I'm fully into it. When Lee mentioned the fact that there weren't no dress code, I will say I was very envious of some of the apparel.
Yeah, the apparel. We've got to get on this, guys. We need to get. I need to
Right.
sort out a logo for us, and then we can have
But
our.
they also had like some of the guys had like team shirts on.
I know.
Well, I think they were just like merch, but
Somebody had a red Discmania.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that.
there was a cast
Almost football shirt.
I did see the cool Casterplast shirt. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a. I
some
know.
cool stuff.
there's
kicking
some-
about.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm jealous of this a little bit, but then also I was like, no, I just want hoodies. Like I'm down for a hoodie.
Yeah.
So I'm not like I can understand. I don't know why it is, but it's something about an esports jersey that just doesn't look right to me. Like it's like darts players wearing what they wear. I'm kind of like it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. It's never always like tackled me because when I've done miniature gaming, obviously for going for Team England and stuff like that, they have jerseys and whatever. It's just never appealed
What,
to
in the
me.
Miniatures?
Yeah, seriously, bro. Like when
I
we've gone to
wouldn't
the
have
UK
expected
things,
that.
yeah. So you could literally go to nationals or like worlds, and basically we have England and obviously Canada, America, etc. Know a lot of the guys on the Brits time, and like some of their logos, like a lion and stuff, is really cool. But like it's literally like esports, like apparel, and that's what we saw there on Sunday as well. And I was like, nah, I don't want to make something like that.
Also, if you don't have a hoodie on, what are you supposed to wipe your disc on when you can't be asked to get your cloth out?
That's what we've got to say. There we go.
Because
Mine's straight on the trousers, so straight on
Yeah,
the trouser
exactly.
leg.
hoodie sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I
One round,
literally.
left arm. Second round, right arm. Maybe use that big pocket on the front if it's
Yeah.
real bad.
Just the kangaroo pouch.
Question: do you wash your disc golf stuff when you get home?
I haven't.
I haven't washed mine.
Yeah, I do.
You know?
I thought you were on about discs.
Yeah.
No, no. I thought, are you making your missus wash your muddy hoodie?
I do that. I do my disc golf washing every Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say anything. My missus washes all my disc. I just dump it on the side and it's
No,
no
I
problem.
actually do that.
I love cleaning my discs. I had to clean my discs this Sunday because the Rockstar decided to go in the biggest bird shit I've ever seen in my life, pardon the language. And literally I was like, guys, I need to just... Because I stopped and everyone was like, what's going on? And in the first round I was like, guys, this Rockstar's gone in something that isn't mud. And they all just went, "Ey." Like, I was like, yeah, this is just not fortunate. And then we had a really long discussion about the worst kind of poo you can land in. Supposedly, foxes is the worst, guys. That's what they said.
It does stink.
It is. They were like, fox, if you land in fox poo when you're throwing a disc, that's terrible. And I was like, mate, everything, after you've had a conversation,
all the hot
someone...
topics here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything always comes back to poo with guys. I don't know what it is.
I very nearly went to join in that debate then and go, surely it's snake poo because that purposely leaves an odour. But
I don't... Is there
wanna
snakes
steer
in
the
England?
podcast away
Yeah, exactly.
from
Let's
things,
talk away
to
from
be
poo.
completely honest with you.
It's true.
So let's talk score.
More poo conversations.
More
next
poo
week.
conversations. Exactly.
So here's what you've been waiting for. How well did we do in the tournament? So score-wise, I can't even remember what I ended up on. I think I can't actually work it out. So I got a plus 19 first round and a plus 29 the second round. So I'm on like 38, 48 even, plus 48. I finished 12 for 15. Absolutely fantastic.
I'm trying to remember my scores. I can't even remember my scores.
We did better than me.
Okay. I know I did better than Dan in my second round, which I was shocked by.
Oh, mate, I'm fully blaming the river, although today I've established the river is a much better
The
disc
river
than
is
I
an
gave it
unreal
credit for.
disc.
But, yeah, halfway through the tournament, Lee convinced me to go and buy a river, because it's
100%.
It's definitely Lee's fault.
Every disc purchase at the Fling was Lee's fault.
Okay, I'm going to tell you now,
Every
guys.
single one.
Right, I'm going to tell you now. The unofficial putter of the podcast, that was being bought no matter what. And I've been told the river is a disc. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting that stamp. Dan, you should get that because it's like a little bit of you.
Yeah, to be fair, you were going to buy that disc that we'd not discussed yet.
Yeah.
You were always getting that.
And I also knew I was going to walk away with a Berg. And I got a chewing gum Berg, which I was very, very happy with.
I think with the river, and
I genuinely believe I was fully talked into buying that disc. I'd not even looked at it.
The Passion.
And then
it was a sick looking disc, though. It's a good disc as well.
Everyone went, that's pretty cool. And then I went...
But that's the problem. You feel like you're being sold a disc because somebody goes, have you seen the artwork on that? And you go, yeah, I'm going to buy it, and now it's Lee's fault.
Yeah, everything is. But the river is up in the top 5 for midfield drivers. It's up there because it can just go and go, and it's a beginner-friendly disc. And I've been throwing it this week, and I threw it at Gillies. I'm not going to lie. A few times it was very educational. A lot of trees were damaged. But in the open field, holy cow, that thing's got range.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. And it's going to be good on Bedworth because Bedworth is very unforgiving and it's open. So I'm like, and I'm guaranteed you're going to... I'm not going to say you should buy one, Ben, but you can throw mine.
But you definitely should buy one.
But you should definitely buy
I went to Gillies with a very specific set of discs that I was going to use in mind. And then I bought the Passion, and I was like, I should probably throw this. And every time I did, I was like, this wasn't on the plan. And it cost me.
And it
That's
cost you a little
exactly
bit.
what happened to me on round 2. This is what I was saying about my score.
I had a set of discs that I'd figured out. And every time I didn't use those, which turned out to be a lot more than I'd actually planned, my score went down. Should have stuck to my plan. Basically.
But it was... So it is me. I do apologise, guys. That is my purchase.
Also, I was doing it in round 1.
Like, oh, okay.
I was using discs that I was like,
I shouldn't use this disc here.
I've not brought this to use this today. I should have just brought what I'd planned. That's what I've learned.
Right.
Like, should have stuck to my plan. But then there were certain discs that I did need to get out of certain situations.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, score-wise, I shouldn't have been throwing, like Benson said, I shouldn't have been throwing the river in round 2. I also took some other discs out of my bag that I hadn't thrown in round 1. And it cost me 10 points apparently, but it just same course, same day, same conditions, different discs, and there were discs that I threw the river more than I should have. I should have thrown it the first time, realised I didn't understand it, and then put it in my bag and then just left it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's not what I did. I kept pulling it out of my bag, kept getting it lost in the forest, and ending up deep in the thick of it, trying to scoot my way out in about 4 shots when I should have been up the fairway into.
Yeah.
And I think that was my main problem. But yeah, pretty low score, pretty low for my average, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I should have stuck to the discs that I had planned. I only had 2 discs that did what I wanted them to do. Probably my fault. But I only had 2 that did what I wanted them to do. It was just a bad round. I came dead last. But I also sort of thought I would. Despite not wanting to.
Yeah.
I thought I would.
Yeah, I was like, I think the thing is, we were like, I'm going in with low expectations. Like, I'm not there to figure out where I'm going to be for position wise. I want to go there and have fun. And I know I've only been playing a couple of months. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to be pushing up the top of the table. I know I'm a pillar for people to stand on. So I'm perfectly fine with that.
I was going to be holding them up.
Yeah, I'm just like, you guys are doing really good. We're just here to have fun. And it sounds a cop-out, but it was true. And I had a fantastic time. Pretty much all the things I said in episode 1 pretty much came true. Like, I killed a tree and I have a souvenir. That's how amazing my first round is. I literally hit a branch and it cut a branch off that is literally 4 inches wide by the length of it is 4 inches and the width of it is 1.5 inches. I literally measured it and I was like, holy cow, this thing, the raptor murders things. So I know if anyone tries to burgle me,
his inches wrong.
I'm literally gonna murder someone with a raptor. But no, I think I'm not up there with you, Dan, because obviously I was on the second round with Ben. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Like, we're gonna have a good time. Some of the putts Ben made were unreal. Really,
honestly, best part of my game.
Unreal. Like, from watching Ben play in the second round was definitely
if it
that.
wasn't for that, my score would have been a lot worse if I had not been able to put the way I was putting, which isn't as impressive as what I saw, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, some of the guys were making big boy puts in round 1 anyway. Round 1 was like a lesson in this is where you could be in quite some time.
Yeah, with the right training, the right practice.
Yeah. One guy, he was throwing this shot. I'd never seen it. It blew my mind. Like, I kept saying to him, I don't know what you just did, but that was really cool.
What did it? Because you told me this.
It just did some flippy stuff. It was like, it went one way and then, and honestly, I wish I'd have got you to see it. It was unreal.
Because literally, how you described it was like this disc flew like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. It was upside down at one point. It turned like
he like threw it like with his like almost flat.
Yeah.
Like out, but it was like, I don't know, man. It just did a couple of flips and
because you were saying he kind of had like a weird chicken
wing
like fling to it, and like
it was
how the disc
went. Extreme angle.
Yeah,
but like it just
so good.
Like House of Flying Daggers, kind of like
House of Flying Daggers.
That's a great reference.
That is a very great reference.
No, but putts were. The archer was useful.
Archer was very good.
Did what it was supposed to do.
Yep.
Like, and then the sensei for putting was great.
So good.
Like, archer and sensei combination got my only birdie.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
Yeah, in the round I got a birdie. I got a worse score.
Yeah.
So, like,
which I think actually leads us on nicely to the next segment of the episode 2. So the beginner tip for this week is taking away the positives. Yep. Now, obviously, we've just heard Ben discuss his putting ability, and I think we'll all agree that putting is Ben's strongest point in the game.
You can drain him. You really do drain him.
He puts one much further than I can.
100%.
And I get outdriven a lot, but when it comes to putting,
I'm
hitting them from further off.
So, what positive did you? I mean, I know this from talking to you, but what positive did you take away from the tournament?
It was quite simply the long putting, because there was certain areas, certain holes of the tournament, there were different like subcategories, weren't there? Like,
like longest put,
longest drive, and closest to pin.
Yeah, closest approach.
CTV,
Longest put was taken early on in round 1 by one of the guys that I was going round with, and then in round 2 I got it. And then by the time I got back round, someone else had already got it. I think literally the next group round got it. But that's not the point.
That's not the point.
You
did. You got on the card.
I got longest put for 7 minutes.
Yeah. So you got longest put. You know, you got to write your name on a bit of card.
That's it. I got to put my name down
and move the flag to where you put it from.
And put the flag down.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, everyone likes planting a flag.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone knows that.
It was a big moment for me. Best moment of the whole tournament, because everything else was pretty abysmal.
Yeah. For me, my number one takeaway, my positive moment was there was an ace pot put together for 60 quid, and nobody scored an ace throughout the day. So we all lined up on hole 1. Yeah, hole 1, and we threw our closest to pin shot. And everybody that would remain there threw it. So there's a good 40 of us that threw this shot.
There was a lot Of people
And
that threw it, yeah.
obviously all these people are also gathered round the pin, and I stepped up and I looked down the fairway and I thought, I can do this. This is in my bag. Like, maybe not getting closest to the pin, but definitely throwing a respectable shot. And all I could think of in my head was, you're going to let go, it's going to hit the first tree, and you're going to look like the biggest plonker. And the shot in my head was the shot I threw. And, I mean, we didn't count, but I reckon I was like third, maybe fourth away from the pin. Made me a happy man, because it showed that I was throwing better than some of these people that had scored massively better than me on the whole card.
Threw better than me.
Yeah.
I veered off into a tree. Pretty sure. I did throw a disc that I've regularly thrown to trees, though.
Yeah.
To that point, it's a disc I only recently got back because I threw it into a set of trees. Shout out Phil. For bringing back
what an absolute
Firebird,
legend.
AKA America.
What a legend.
Yeah. You thought you had lost that for
I thought that was
a
gone.
while.
I had literally no idea where
That
it
was the first thing that happened to us. We got out of the
Yeah,
car, and then you said, "Are you Ben?" And he was like, "Yeah."
I'm still trying to figure out how he knew you were Ben.
That's what I'm weirded
He was
about.
here-
Because he's one of the Bedworth boys. Because
Yeah,
he goes.
No one knows a name for Bedworth.
That's
Like-
true. It's kind of interesting how he knew.
How did it come up?
I
There
don't.
was definitely a reason.
There's probably
He just
something was
wandered
said.
Did he
over
not
it
just
and went,
walk over and say, "Are you Ben?"
yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
did.
he did.
He did. Yeah. Phil, are you psychic, or did Andrew tell you who Ben
Psychic
was?
Phil. Andrew doesn't know who I am.
That's true. Actually, yeah, it must be Psychic Phil. That's his nickname from now on. So Phil, we've
Psychic
named
Phil.
it Psychic Phil, Savior of America.
Yeah. He did say that he checked the tournament out and he knew you was playing in the tournament. So unless he went round to all the groups and just went, "Are you Ben?" Which seems like a bit of an odd thing to do, but if that's...
But if he did do that, fair play to him,
Yeah.
because you got a disc back that you honestly thought you'd
It's
lost.
gone forever.
And
Yeah.
nobody else put the 100% on Ben Middleton now.
I do love that disc, but it just.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have it back.
So that's another positive as well.
100%.
But what's your positive from the tournament, Lee?
I'm gonna say two things: frustration and be confident in your disc selection. I feel like there's some shots where I've just basically I know I've absolutely ballsed it up, but my second shot or my recovery shot has been phenomenal.
So
Like,
it's your recovery.
Recovery, I
essentially.
could definitely take away from. The buzz saved me so much. This in the tournament,
No,
like
you've got that figured out. Again,
I
now.
love the
Like, you
buzz.
stop throwing it into trees.
No, yeah, it went for a phase of trying to buzz down trees. Now it just avoids
No,
trees
buzzes
fantastically.
around them,
But I think when it comes to the word frustration, it was like I had a hole where literally I think I took 7 or 8 on it, and it was because I basically had a really good drive, and then I had a terrible shot, and then with Gillies punishes you if you get into the woods, and we talked about it a little bit in episode 1.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I must have lined it up and go, cool, I'm going to get this. And it literally would hit a tree, and I kid you not, probably to where Dan's front door is. And I literally go, oh, okay, dust it off, next one. And literally rinse, repeat, do the same thing, right, boom, done it again. And literally by the 5th attempt of hitting a tree, I was like, cool, just going to take a breather. Right, do the shot I want. Oh, it's come off, putted it, awesome. Super angry, but from that, let's move on, forget about that hole and smash the next one out, and then literally have a really good hole the next one and not dwell on the frustration of bad shots.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see
Because
like from both rounds, you could see like bad shots getting in
people's heads, yeah, 100%.
And then they'd play the next 2 or next 1 shot or the next couple of shots not great. Whereas I think that comes to like when you're good and you know you're good as well though. Like I knew I was bad, so I threw a bad shot. I was like, meh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but I did say to you, there were, especially toward the end, I knew I was having a bad round. I threw a bad shot into the forest. I walked up. I didn't even put my marker down. I just put myself in position and threw the first disc out of my bag
Yeah.
onto the fairway. It went straight across the fairway, back into a forest. And as I threw it, I just thought, I don't care anymore. As
Yeah.
it left my hand and I watched it fly into the other forest, I thought, no, I do care.
Yeah.
I still do care.
I still do care a little bit. But at the time, you're just kind of like, right, I've got this. This is the shot it's going to do. I know the disc flies like this. This is going to be fine. And then you just look at it, because I call it a Dan, because basically I've seen when we've played, you throw it and then you play the classic. You say the classic line, and I'm going to move away from the microphone for this. I didn't mean to do that. Why are you flying like that? That is a Dan. He does say that a lot. But yeah, it's true. It is true. We all do it.
Just clear off in the wrong direction.
It is true, but it is. We all do it. But I was just
So
like,
you forgot to shout stop at it.
Yeah.
yeah. Although the best one I think, which was funny about the second round for me and Ben in particular, because all of us were having, I think from hole 12 onwards, we were having bad holes. Like we'd take it in turns on our card. Everyone had a bad hole, I would say. But we made you kept reminding us about the group you had beforehand about good tree, bad tree, which literally made us all feel better. Like
Good
that
tree, bad tree was probably a highlight for me as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
I really
love that
enjoyed
saying.
A good game of good tree, bad tree.
Good tree kicks out in the right way. Bad tree screws you over.
Yep.
You're a bad tree.
Good tree, bad tree.
I'll tell you what was another highlight for me, another positive, and I actually thought this was going to be your positive, Lee, because you did really well in it, but Ring of Fire.
Yes, I didn't want to bring that up, but yes.
So, Ring of Fire, for those who've not played it before, and we hadn't until Sunday, is they put a 10-metre circle around a basket, and you all stand on the outside of this 10-metre circle. They go 3, 2, 1, put, and you try and put when they say put. Everybody tries to put at the same time. You think you can imagine it, but you cannot.
No, it's insane, is the best way of describing it.
Those that manage to get the putter into the basket stay in for round 2, and so on and so forth until only one person remains. If no one gets into the basket, restart, and everybody's back in. They had an envelope, which I believe had bag tags.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I didn't know if it was markers.
Yeah. It was some sort of keychain thing, so it was either markers or like a
on like a clip or could be
Yeah.
a bag tag.
Yeah.
Nobody got to find out in this group. So.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, what? I think the final score was I got it in twice. Both of you got it in once, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then, but it's absolute chaos because I was
think
like, I don't know how I got that in. I don't know how I got that in.
I probably would have selected
A different disc, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like
Considering how I'd been playing all
Yeah.
day, putting wise, I just went, I've been making this shot all day. What I should do is use a different disc for this competition.
Yeah.
That's definitely the smart thing to do.
yeah, well, I brought a disc, the disc that shall not be mentioned, and thought
The
"Do you know
unofficial
what I'm
putter of
gonna
the
do?"
podcast, which is unofficial at the moment because we're not sponsored by them.
We
yeah,
will be.
we will be.
mentioned.
Or mentioned yet until we've thrown it around a little bit. But yeah, it was good fun. Like, honestly, like little things like that. I was like, I've heard of it, but I've never witnessed it. And it's absolute carnage.
I'm surprised there's not more of that on YouTube.
No,
I've typed
love
disc
to.
golf into YouTube
100%.
plenty of times.
I feel like, honestly, our game's not great, but we need to do some stupid put-in videos. I'd love some stupid put-in
I want
videos.
to just throw back to something I remember from episode 1.
Yeah.
The only way we can announce the disc that cannot be named
Oh, okay.
is to do a one disc round.
Oh, I think we should do.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
100%. Oh, yeah, because Dan officially hates those games.
That's why I brought it up.
We just bring it up because it's true. We are like,
And you heard him say yeah. So
yeah, it's
happy.
true. Can we throw a putter around the madness? That's all we're saying.
Well, I can.
I know you can. Dan and me are just used to throwing other things. We're just like, no, not those things. But I do honestly think little things like that adds the fun to the tournament because it was in between both rounds.
It was carnage.
And it was absolute carnage. You heard, like, we made jokes and people laughed. We made jokes and one guy tutted. And then we made the same joke and the guy made the comment, didn't he? Because he laughed and he was like, "Oh, see, someone got your joke." And it was like, "Yeah, we found our target audience. Thank you." we know what we're doing. But yeah, it was just great. It was good fun, like talking to everyone, and like everyone was really nice. It was sick. It was really good fun.
Real good.
Yeah.
It was a good tournament.
So beginner tip: take away the positives.
Yeah.
And moving away from the tournament, we practice a lot down Bedworth, and sometimes it is hard. Sometimes you have that awful round where you feel like every single hole has gone wrong, and it's good. And this is going back to the mental health point that we can have a laugh and take the mick out of each other and stuff. But we're also
we
good
got
at
to that stage because before we were just like, "Oh, you did this wrong." Like,
Yeah.
This is unlucky. But now we're like,
yeah, but
yeah,
we're
we're just like, I spanned that into a tree. Like we just laugh at it, like because
Yeah.
we know we can throw a disc.
yeah, but we're also good
That's
at bigging
it.
each other up. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
100%.
when we hit something that's good, we're our biggest like
Cheerleaders, yeah. 100%.
We just jump straight on it. Like
Yeah, so when you do come away, you have a thinking, I've got a bad score, I've had a bad practice round.
that's it. One of us is also pretty good at going. Yeah, but you did this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. We'll always look at the positive out.
Because you might not see it as that.
Yeah.
Because you remember the 8 million bad shots.
Yeah,
But
you-
somebody's remembered that one good shot. And
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The one good shot is worth remembering. Even if it's just one.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and it's taken away that
Especially
positive.
at this early stage.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, so, Gillies. So, Gillies is a course in, I keep going to say Stratford, but
It's
not, it's Leamington Spa.
Snifferfield or whatever it's called. Snifferfield. I mentioned it earlier to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, I know where that is." I'm like, "How the heck do you know where that is?"
It's near an armoury.
It's near an armoury.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all you
Yeah.
need to know.
That's all you need to know.
No. So it's a pay-to-play course. It's £4 for the short course, £8 for the larger course, or £16 for the day rate. The course layouts are 12 holes, both on the short course and the larger course. However, if you're paying the day rate, you can do any course you like on UDisc. There's 5 layouts in UDisc, including an official 18, and a 24-hole course, I believe, which is a
Jeez.
combination of the long and the short together.
24 holes.
Yeah, but I
Jeez,
mean,
if you can survive that long.
well, yeah,
gosh.
'cause we did that a day. We'd think about it. When last time we played the day rate, we played 2 18s,
36.
and then we played a 12.
Yeah, but we finished on the smaller course, which was glorious because we were like, yeah, this is nice. It was a nice cool round after
Wayfield Gorse.
yeah.
It is.
Is it?
Wayfield Gorse.
Wayfield Gorse.
So says Google's.
So says the Googs.
So it's a heavily wooded course. 'Cause I think that's the best way to describe it, and emphasis on the word heavily wooded.
It's true. Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Mortal Kombat. That's exactly what it is.
There was a
Trees everywhere.
Yeah, there was a point on Sunday
Everywhere.
where I stood behind a tree and I thought to myself, "Oh, I'm behind a tree again." And I kind of looked around me and thought, there was nowhere I could have landed on this hole where I wouldn't have been behind some form
Yeah.
of tree.
Yeah,
I used,
Like-
I used to think my eyesight was good, and then I went to Gillies. And I
Exactly.
could not see a basket. I'm like,
I
oh.
honestly think one time your archer in the second round hit a tree which we didn't even saw was a tree, and it was just the smallest tree ever, and he just went, and I was like, oh, that is a tree. Like literally, it was like
There's trees everywhere.
it's
man.
everywhere.
And even when you think you're going to skim the trees, they almost like reach out and grab you with them tiny branches that you
Or
can't
you
even
cut
see.
branches. That's how you do it. Love that souvenir.
We like the course. We've played half a dozen courses now. Well, me and Ben have played half a dozen. I think you'll play one less than us. It's just
Yeah.
It's only Lichfield we've been to that you've not come
Yeah,
with.
I think it is. I haven't gone Lichfield with you guys.
And it'll be a long time before we go back to Lichfield. But, that's another conversation for
another day.
But we've debated several times what the best course is, what our favourite course is, should I say, whether that's Quarry Park or Gillies.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Quarry Park, and I would always put Quarry Park on top until I play something better, obviously. But
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah, it's very good.
yeah, but I know.
I thought it was Gillies.
But then
First time I went Gillies, I was like,
It's
yeah,
cool.
Gillies is the best. And then I went Quarry Park again, and I was like, nah,
No, Quarry Park.
this is the
Yeah.
best. And it is the best.
but Gillies is a close
Gillies
second.
is real good.
Yeah, Gillies is definitely up there in the debate.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quarry Park gives you a bit of everything and the chance to throw your discs in a river. So
Yes.
But
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
But yeah, Gillies is a really good course. Highly recommend it. It's not for amateurs. I say that, and we're amateur disc golfers.
yeah.
But if you're going to go and pay to play, if you're going to go and pay a day rate, have a look at some of the ones that are a bit more open, which are your Lichfield, your Quarry Park. A couple of the lads on the tournament spoke about fairways. I've had a look at it myself. It is one of the ones I want to visit.
Okay, cool.
And Redditch, that was quite good. Nice and open. That was
Yeah.
free, that was another free one.
Was that the wet
Bedworth,
Bedworth as well.
Bedworth is free.
Redditch was the bin bag rain day.
Oh, that was wet. Yeah.
where we were like, we think this course is good,
Like,
but
I'm
I think it
alright.
was just we were all morally
I'm normally alright
drenched.
in the rain, but
That was stupid.
That was
It's like Jurassic Park rain.
That
like,
was
just
something else.
unforgiving.
But yeah, going back to Gillies, absolutely fantastic course. We're going to talk about a hole that we appreciated on Gillies. I'm going to start. My hole is Blue 9, which is a 94 metre par 3.
Okay.
And the reason that I quite like hole 9 is with this one you've got two different ways of approaching it. There's a left channel and a right channel.
Yeah.
And then they're both dogleg back to the basket in the centre. Now, and I noticed this on Sunday. I didn't notice it when we've been and played at Gillies before, but on Sunday I noticed that if you throw down the right channel, it's an easier drive because it's a much more open fairway. But the dogleg is much more difficult to get round. Where if you throw down the left side, it's a much narrower fairway, but land it in the middle, and it's actually quite a nice. How would you put it? Like a gradual corner rather than a dogleg into the basket. So it's an easier approach.
Yeah, so
it's an easier
thing.
approach. And the first time on my first round, I threw down the left side. I've got a better forehand than I have a backhand. I could probably throw further backhand, but I'm in more control with my forehand. And at this point, I was doing quite well, and I wanted to be consistent. I threw the forehand down the tighter fairway, and one of the guys said to me, "Oh, that's a pro line, that is." I assured him very quickly I was not a pro.
I'm not a.
Just gonna
That's
throw a
not a
spanner
pro.
in the works.
Yeah.
What?
Hole 9,
Yeah.
tournament hole. It's blue hole 1.
Is that what it is?
On the course map.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's tournament 9, blue hole 1.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
just before he goes
Yeah, because it's the one next to the
next to the car park.
next to the
Yeah.
car park. Yeah, yeah.
It's blue hole
start
1.
on that side when you do.
You
the
do,
12
yeah.
holes.
Yeah. I've just gone to check which one I'm on about, and
Yeah, I'm looking up
Yeah, because you
now.
was going to talk about hole 1, so you're clearly not talking about hole 1. If that's
Yes.
what I'm talking about,
He's
I'm
like,
thinking
yes.
it's 9. So cheers, Andrew, for messing with my brain. So blue hole 1, ladies and gentlemen, is my favourite hole at Gillies.
Good job.
So have you figured out which hole you are actually talking about then, Ben?
well, it's the one from the tournament, but
But
it's somewhere between orange A and white 1. I think it's technically orange A.
Is it the one the closest to the road when you come in?
It is.
The one where you
it
got
was
the longest
first
bird.
hole of the
Yeah, I
tournament.
like that
Yeah.
one. When we all threw the
it's
ace.
either white
That's
one
the
Yes.
one.
or orange
The one.
A.
That's a real nice one.
It's just straight, really.
It is. It
Like,
is. Honestly,
there's a
that's
lot of
what it
trees
is.
on either side. There's a bit of a curve. It's straight. It's where longest putt was. It's mainly the reason I picked it, so I can wedge that in one more time.
That dagger's not coming out anytime soon.
It's also not that. It's not as challenging as a lot of them. To
No.
be honest.
I'm trying to figure out which one mine is now. No, I really like that one because honestly, it's like that. It's quite open because it is literally dead straight. Like literally is dead straight, and it is very, very nice. I think the funniest thing about it is that that's either a beginning one or it's halfway through the course if you're doing like the 12, aren't you?
I feel like, Lee, I'm going to mention this one for you.
Okay,
I think it's blue 3.
I'm going to look at this now. Is that the one where I birdied in the...
No, the only reason I'm mentioning blue 3 is because I'm pretty sure that's the one where you say, this is like the scene from the Mortal Kombat.
Yes! I
Right.
love that blue
Like
3.
every time we're there.
I'm just waiting for like, get over here. Like literally, that is, yeah, because that's a par 3 and it's literally dead straight. It's the
because
nicest one because it's everyone always says it's the hardest shot in disc golf is the straight shot, but if you've got it, it's a birdie or an ace
blue
run.
11.
Blue
is
11.
The one I birdied. Blue
Yes.
3 is the one that you like.
Yeah, I like blue 3.
11 is a really short one.
Yeah.
It's
I also
not
like,
that I'm
is
good,
it
it's just
would it be
really
blue
short.
12 that you head back down toward the car park and that's another nice straight one?
Yep.
I'm trying to have a look now.
Yes.
Yes.
18 on the tournament.
Yeah.
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 Blue 12 is the long straight down to near the car park. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Blue 7 as well. Love Blue 7. It's also White 6. Because that's the one where it goes round the corner. I like that one as well. Because that's a if you're left.
Blue 7 is not White 6.
Okay. Well, whatever I'm looking at is wrong. I'm sorry. I absolutely love it. It's 6, ain't it? 6, the 2 different routes to it.
Yeah, that's 6 or Orange G.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I like that one. That one's really cool because again, that has 2 different routes, and it's really funny because you can either just go right. I'm going to go right.
Ah, yeah, the one where
and
you go
then
right, left, or straight into the first tree.
straight
like
into the
I
first
do.
tree. Yeah.
But I suppose that's probably my main criticism from Gillies, and it's not just something I've noticed now. I'm sure our listeners have just noticed how confusing these holes can be.
Yeah.
But using U-Disc on any other course that we've been to, including Redditch, and Redditch literally only had about 4 tee pads. Like,
But it was confusing.
But U-Disc took us to each tee pad, and we could figure it out with U-Disc, despite going to Gillies 3 as 4 times now.
Yeah.
Even with the help of U-Disc, we couldn't find some of the
We still get confused. in
tees.
those, yeah.
It didn't make sense. The shorter course, that flowed really well, and
Yeah.
it had arrows and told you where to go. The longer course, if you're just doing the 12 holes, I suppose it flows and you have got some arrows, but it's still not the clearest. If you're doing the official 18 on U-Disc, then good luck to you.
Yeah, we were like the best way of describing it. We were like the hobbits from Lord of the Rings when we first went round for our practice rounds, because we were like, "Yeah, we're going this way." Immediately turn round and walk the other way. I bet you, if you were watching us from afar, it looked like a Scooby-Doo cartoon. How many times we turned back and walked back and forth?
Yeah, and like just staring at logs, going, "Is this meant to be the tee pad?"
I think this could be. I could be wrong. Yeah. I think that might be the one gripe with it. But also, I feel like what we mentioned a little bit in the first episode was it's a very technical course and it's very unforgiving. Like, if you end up in the bush / shrubbery of doom,
Oh no, you're not just in a bush.
you become one with the bush.
You are in it.
You're in it.
It'll take you a couple. If you're really in it, you could look at 3 shots to get back out.
Yeah, it is. It's very unforgiving.
And like you said, people say that the hardest shot in disc golf is the straight shot. If you can't throw straight and you can't stay on them fairways, and I can curve discs. Curving disc is actually the way that I play. Even if I've got a big open fairway, absolutely love it. 'Cause it means I can throw massively to the right, curve back into the left, and land where I want it to land. But even if you can curve discs, unless you can pinpoint exactly where that curve's going to be, and it's going to go absolutely perfect, you are curving straight into a forest.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Spoiler, we cannot.
We can.
I was going to say, don't let this put you off. We like a trial by fire. Throw us in at the deep end. It is a learning tool.
100%.
Gluttons for punishment.
Yeah.
We are gluttons for punishment.
Because, I mean, we spoke about Quarry Park earlier. Quarry Park is a mixture of open and closed wooded shots.
Yeah.
Gillies is closed wooded shots. There is nothing open about Gillies at all.
I think that's what gives Quarry Park the edge, though, isn't it? It's got all of it.
I think it has a little bit of everything. Yeah, 100%. But I do think the plus bonus of all of us saying positive and negative things about Gillies, the logo for Gillies is the sickest one. The sickest logo we've seen so far.
Yeah, I do like it.
The logo is sick.
So-
Good job on the marketing logo,
So-
guys.
Probably not a conversation for the podcast, and probably one we should have just had in the car on Sunday, but I'm going to mention it anyway since it just made me think of it. I'm pretty convinced I saw discs with Gillies logos on them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I weren't going mad.
See,
No.
I didn't see them. So.
Yeah, there was a few kicking about. Yeah, but I'm pretty positive some guys were doing stencil jobs. I'm pretty positive, or there was a run of discs. There has to be at some point. Yeah, 100%. Because I think
if anybody listens to this who's played the Gillies course regularly and can confirm that, please leave a comment.
Let us know. Comment below in the messages on YouTube, or I don't think on Podbean you can really leave comments. You just like the audio medium, so that would be amazing. Just like it, that'd be great.
But yeah, so next topic.
Yes.
Our final topic of the week, and of course it's Disc of the Week.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Lee, why don't you tell us about your disc of the week?
Right, so a story that's happened and will forever be etched in the stone of our friendship is I lost a disc. I'm not going to tell you how, but it was at Quarry Park. And I knew Ben had a disc that was the similar ability because you got it, because you also have a magician that you never throw.
Yeah.
So, and I picked it up and started throwing it and immediately went like, yeah, if they've got this in the store, in the shop at Quarry Park, I'll pick it up because I need one. Because I just lost, at this point, my magician that I was throwing was that disc. It was my good midway disc. I need to get one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the Cax by Castoplast.
I'd just like to point out, sorry, Lee, to interrupt you.
Go for it.
Lee's not telling you about why he's not talking about the other disc.
That's episode 3, isn't it?
That's episode 3.
Yeah.
I've already pre-warned him that's a topic for next week. So
Tales from our lovely disc golfing
Tales
times.
of the deep.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, come on. If next time I go there, I'll get scuba gear, okay? I'll just go in there with a snorkel, all right? But yes, the Cax from Castoplast. Absolutely love this disc. It's a mid-range. It's speed 6, glide 4, 0 turn, 3 fade? Is it turn and fade? Did we get that right?
Yeah, it's turn then fade.
Yeah, so I got it right. Yeah.
I've got a feeling that's going to be your catchphrase.
Yeah, it is always going to be. Did I get it right? You know, I'm not so sure.
Is it turn then fade?
I've recently, thanks to this week, Ben telling us this amazing website that tells us the stability of our discs. It's an overstable disc. I love the Cax. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just the Castoplast plastic as well is lush. It's the K1 plastic. It's so nice and like just because I got the Mako, which is an Innova disc, and it feels a little bit less like gummy is the best way of describing it to the Castoplast, but it's just so nice to hold to begin with. And the Cax is amazing. This thing goes. Because what was it? When I picked it up and we went round for the second round, immediately you could tell my grip was wrong on it because it would wobble in the air, but it went. And I immediately went like, I'm throwing this exactly like the Magician. This has just replaced my Magician. This is perfect. And it is a really nice disc. Can't argue with it. It's fun. And also, Castoplast is a European company, so I want to try and get more discs from our part of the woods instead of America, obviously. But yeah, I just love it. The plastic for it is amazing. Ben, you can chime in at any point because you own it as well.
I've got the Cax Z.
Oh, you got the Cax Z.
It is fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it because obviously you've got the bigger boy of it as well. There's something about the plastic. I don't know what it is. It just feels nice to grip
Castoplast
it.
are cool.
Yeah, it's great to grip and rip. I love it.
Yeah, like I don't get on with the lots as much as I get on with other discs. But the plastic, the grip, it just it feels quality.
Yeah, it's crazy good. I absolutely love it. I wish I knew of this grip, so I would have got one of each and just been like, just Castoplast boy. Just that would have been it.
I think if I was going to go down the route of one, even though that's not where this is going to be.
Yeah.
This is not the disc I'm picking. But
No.
I do like their discs.
Yeah, Castoplast is really good. Really good. I recommend the Cax. Obviously, Ben has the Cax Z. Like, it's really good. It's a good mid-range. It's a bit more, I think it's a little bit more beefier than a Mako. It's just great. I really, really like it. I'd highly rate it. I have it in a very vibrant bumblebee yellow, so I love it. I absolutely love it because in my bag of multicolored rainbows, I'm like, yep, it's time for the Cax. Where is it? Ha, yellow. There you are. And dare I say, when I want to do stenciling and dyeing and stuff, I want to put a bumblebee on it. Like, literally, just Bumblebee's face from the Transformers. Enough said. But yeah, the Cax is my disc of the week. If you want to try it out, I'd highly recommend it.
So I can bounce straight off that, mainly because Lisa spoke about Castoplast, and I mentioned that I don't really get on with the lots as well as I do some other discs in my bag. And my disc of the week is the Saint. And the reason I mention the lots is because there is one number difference. The Saint has a 6 glide and the lots has a 5. They're both 9 speed. They're both -1 turn. They're both 2 fade.
Yeah.
The Saint.
I think it's your best disc in the bag. We keep saying this, don't we, Ben?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably
He's
Dan's
got
best
that.
disc.
I will often miss a shot and hear Lee's voice in my head say, "You should have thrown the Saint."
And then you throw it and you go like, gosh darn it.
Yeah, typically I will miss an approach. I'll go for a big birdie. I'll miss it. You know, I'm left with a putt for par, and I throw the Saint. You know, obviously on practice runs, and I throw the Saint, and they go in. And I just think to myself every time, like, why didn't I just throw the Saint? That wasn't always the case though. I acquired the Saint when me and Ben first went Quarry Park, and I think being able to walk into a disc golf shop, like a physical one, and see discs on the shelf got us a bit overexcited, and we didn't. Again, we were still at a point where we didn't really know.
Every single time it happens. Yeah. Every single time we go where there's a physical shop, we get one.
I do feel like we're like the aliens from Toy Story. You know, when we go walk in, we're like, wow.
Yeah, so much so.
Every time.
But we'd walked in. At this point, we'd both got starter sets. We'd both brought a high-speed driver, which was useless to both of us. And we were looking. We'd done a bit of research at this point, and so we knew that high speed wasn't the key. And we'd watched some videos where they were saying, get between a 7 and a 9.
Yeah.
And the Saint was a 9. And
I also bought a 9.
Yeah.
You Your face doesn't work on a podcast, but you're like, what?
Well, that was the inception of America.
Yeah.
Was it the inception of America?
That was the Firebird, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Nice.
Brought the Saint on a basis that it was bright orange. I'd seen it feature in a couple of videos that I'd been watching, and I was like, no, that's a disc for me. Speed 9, glide 6. Yeah, I've got the speed they're recommending and a big glide number on there. And we went out. We'd only paid for the one round, hadn't we? We hadn't paid a day rate, so we decided to throw them on the way back to the car, and we threw them a couple of times, and literally did a right angle. And I went home, and the whole way home I was just thinking, why have I just spent money on a disc that is practically useless? Over time, at first I only took it out of my bag when I needed to dogleg massively.
Okay.
And because I knew that I'd launch it and it'd just basically turn left.
And then never forget when you just threw it thinking it was going to turn left, and it went straight.
Yeah.
And that's when something clicked in my head that I didn't know how to throw discs. And we discussed this. I'm not sure if we discussed this last week or not. The towel exercise. I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You
last
talked about the
week,
towel. Yeah, you talked about the towel.
At the point when I'm doing the towel exercise and I'm learning that tip of the whip, the Saint just completely changed what it did in my bag, and it's still got a big bend left. And I'm not going to try and kid anybody, but it travels straight for the longest period of time, dips off to the left,
finishes hard.
Yeah. As I'm approaching, if I'd say good 50 meters away, I can, and I'm not saying I'm nailing this every time I'm 50 meters away, but I can hit the pin.
Yeah, I'd say you could. Yeah.
No, I'm at least getting into that inner circle every time.
Yeah, I would say, because I think it's like a perfect approach
Putting it
disc
on
as well.
target,
You are,
Yeah.
because you know how to throw it. I feel like that's what you said. Like,
So, disc of the week for me, the
Saint.
Saint, but learn how to throw it.
I still think you need to get one in purple and then go All Saints Row on it.
And again, anyone who's listening that can answer this question, can we spray onto discs?
Because I found how to do stencils through dyeing, but like the dye that I need is about the quality of possibly 2 to 3 discs. So I don't want to destroy one of my discs doing it. But
Well, we know, Lee especially knows how to use model spray. I did a bit of
Yeah,
it when I was
100%.
younger. Lee's a pro. So, can we use model spray on discs? If anyone knows the answer to that, please let us know.
I can try it out on one of the ones that's coming out of my bag. Should we just use that as the guinea pig?
Just try it.
I'm going to try it. Try
I
it on
think-
America.
I'm thinking more rules, because there are some funny rules about discs, like...
Well, it's going to be the Zero. The Zero's coming out of my bag, but I don't mind that being the guinea pig for like test dyeing and doing all the stupid stuff we want to do on discs.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee that, because the
Yeah.
judge has replaced that, like guaranteed,
Yeah. So,
and the Berg has. So.
getting back on track.
Yes.
Ben, disc of the week.
It's the Sensei. Now, I've got 2. So is it specifically, or...
And no, I think talking about them both, because you can't talk about why you got the better one without talking about the worst one. And I
I
say
got-
worst, not as in it's a bad disc, but
The original Sensei from the starter set was a bit gummy, and I'm sure they're the same weight, but it feels floatier.
yeah.
So I want another one because I like this. It does what I want it to, and I was throwing it, and I use it for everything.
Well, apart
Throw it,
from
I
the
put
dodgy cheap putter, that was your first putter, wasn't it? So that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
almost
So
a
it's the
disc
one-
you learnt to put
Yeah,
with.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
and that completely. Once I started using that, that's when I felt like putting became something I could do quite well.
Yeah.
I suddenly became to just get it when I was starting using that disc. So I got the Glow Sensei because it's a better plastic, it's cool, and it just goes in when I want it, when I need it to. Like, just
Yeah.
does its job.
Is it what?
I've got it figured out. I can get it to go in from an all right range most of the time, and I can also like throw it. Like, you can use it for. It's not specifically.
Oh yeah,
just
I've
for
seen
putting-
you drive with the Sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's what? Speed 3,
It's
fade 3.
3301.
Yeah, 3301.
But it's
Oh,
just
Ben
good.
don't need you disc to know that.
Yeah, I know.
I do
I've got
genuinely know
too,
it, yeah.
too many numbers for me at the moment.
It's just really good. I love it.
It is good. I really like the disc. I think your premium was, because we talked a little bit about your putting, obviously, in the beginning of this cast. Like, since you've picked that up, that's
It's got.
that's
it
a
has
dart.
improved. Yeah.
It's
like,
a dart for you.
Yeah, because that, Ben does say, it just goes in. Just disclaimer, it don't just go in.
It doesn't
like-
just go in.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
do need
machine.
to like actually throw it in. Like,
Yeah, it's not a cheat code like the Archer, but you do throw it. It's very
it does.
consistently.
Yeah, I've figured it out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't know if I could throw the base plastic one as good as I can throw the other one, but also I don't know if that's in my head.
Because it's a better plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you saw it this weekend because I got the premium Maestro. I can't throw that disc at all. I can throw the other Maestro really well, but I can't throw
Yeah,
the premium yet. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Honestly, I think it's
They're
down to
different. They are different. plastics,
very
I think.
different, and I think it's just down to obviously getting used to it. But
Yeah.
I think that the Sensei's a very good thing.
But
very
the
good disc.
plastics, the whole thing. Like, I'm not sure if you'll throw my Duchess, Lee, but
No, I haven't thrown any of like the British, should we say, the discs.
Discs.
yeah,
I haven't thrown any of those
because the
guys.
Duchess and the Buzz, number for number, are the
Exactly
same
the
disc,
same.
but they are not the same disc.
No.
Like, no one who's thrown, was it UK Disc Golf Duchess, and also thrown a Buzz would put them in the same league.
Interesting.
Probably not.
no,
Because like, isn't the Buzz like the number one like
It's
fair?
very
It's up there.
mentioned,
It's
isn't
that and
Yeah.
Mako and a few others that are up there for like they are. If you want to upgrade from a beginner set, they're the first discs in the bag.
Yeah,
Which
I
was.
think that jump between them two when I brought the Buzz, even though I knew it was the same numbers, and I brought the Buzz on the recommendations of all the sites. I think that's
Yeah.
when my brain actually kind of triggered that plastics are important.
Yeah, Sensei solid. Can't argue
Solid.
with it. I
Yeah.
really do like the Sensei,
I
and the
love
artwork's sick.
Oh,
That's the other thing. Artwork.
The glow, the Halloween glow Sensei is a fantastic little stamp.
Yeah, that
Hopefully
stamp
it
is.
stays on there.
That, you pray it stays on there.
Yeah, so
Right.
that brings us to the end of the cast. Thank you for joining us. Come and join us next week where we're going to be talking about losing discs.
Yep.
We're also going to get into those dreaded numbers and disc golf language and tell you what we make of it. Do not expect a lesson on
No, not at all.
understanding it, but just what we understand so far.
Expect to find out how little we really know about.
Exactly. Like we know nothing.
And of course, there'll be another beginner tip and a disc of the week. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for Disc Heads episode 2.
Good job.
I've been
Nailed
very
it.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.